On the 5th of August 2014, the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, held its 9th meeting and considered various issues and proposals from various ministries and agencies concerned. The 9th NCPO meeting gave approval to the draft announcement of the 47th ASEAN meeting and the draft announcement of the 47th ASEAN Foreign Ministerial meeting. The approval was given to the draft announcement of the 47th ASEAN meeting on the promotion of the coordination and cooperation in the search and rescue operations in the sea and by air, and the draft announcement of the 47th ASEAN Foreign Ministerial meeting is on the cooperation in the prevention, preparation, response and recovery from the oil leakage situation offshore. The 47th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting will be held between the 8th and the 10th of August 2014 in Naypyidaw of Myanmar. Both statements intend to announce the joint intention of promoting the cooperation in the sea rescue, air rescue and the situation of oil leakage via the exchanges of information, seminar, joint exercises with no additional budgetary commitment. The statements are not considered to be binding international agreement under the Article 23 of the Provisional Constitution BE 2557. Next is regarding the report on June 2014 industrial economic situation. The head of NCPO, the head of the economic cluster of NCPO approved the Ministry of Industry to present the report on June 2014 industrial economic situation to the head of NCPO for acknowledgement. The background to this is that the summary of the June 2014 industrial economic situation report are as follows. 1. The May 2014 manufacturing production index had increased from April 2014 by 10%. Industry that had contributed to this rise in the index are hard disk drive, automobiles, ready-made clothing, canned and frozen seafood, and beer, for instance. Secondly, capacity utilization index of May 2014 was at 61.4%, an increase from that of April 2014, which was at 56.4%. Industry that caused the increase of the capacity utilization index from April 2014 were vehicles, hard disk drive, canned and frozen seafood, basic chemical products, plastic products, for instance. As for the food industry, it is expected that the production and the export will be better from the previous month due to the increased order from foreign countries and the stability of Thai baht at the same level as the previous month. The local purchase of food is expected to improve due to the cessation of political protests, which led to better economic confidence and the increase of public spending. As for the automobile industry, it is expected that the car industry in June 2014 will be stable compared to May 2014. However, as political situation has returned to normal, this will contribute to the positive psychological effect to the consumers. It is anticipated that 39% of cars manufactured in June 2014 will be for local purchasing and 61% for exports. Next is regarding the evacuation and assistance of Thai citizens in Libya. The 9th NCPO meeting on the 5th of August 2014 approved the allocation of 224.645 million baht from the reserve budget for emergency and necessary situation of the central budget of the fiscal year 2014 for all the expenses related to the evacuation and assistance of Thai citizens residing in Libya. This is due to the situation in Libya that has escalated to the point where danger may occur to the life and property of Thai citizens. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has closely monitored the situation is of the view that it is necessary to evacuate Thais from Libya to safe locations and to return to Thailand via countries such as Tunisia and Egypt. The ministry has instructed the Thai embassy in Tripoli to prepare the evacuation plan on land and by air, and the implementation will be appropriate to the situation. This will take place between August and September 2014. While more than 20 Thai students and workers have arrived in Bangkok yesterday, the 5th of August 2014, Around 23 will arrive in Thailand on the 6th of August and 81 on the 7th of August 2014. And approximately 800 Thai citizens are waiting to return by charter aircrafts via Tunisia and Dubai back to Thailand. The head of the NCPO, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, also instructed the Ministry of Labour to oversee measures to help alleviate the hardship of the workers who are coming back to Thailand and consider the likelihood of their return to work in Libya once the situation has become stable and secure. The 9th NCPO meeting approved the draft announcement of the 7th ministerial meeting of the Mekong Ganga Cooperation Framework and designated the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Acting Foreign Minister, to jointly acknowledge the said announcement. Should there be necessity to adjust any part of the draft announcement that is not of essence, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs may proceed with it without having to ask for approval from the NCPO. The Mekong Ganga Cooperation, or MGC, was initiated in the year 2000 with 6 member countries, namely Cambodia, India, Laos PDR, Myanmar, Thailand and Vietnam, with the objectives of promoting economic cooperation and creating linkages among member countries in 4 areas. Such cooperation, which involve the fields of tourism, culture, education and transport, is based on the economic factors that support one another and the good relations among the member countries, and these form the strategy of linkages between the Mekong sub-region and India. MGC has seen the meetings at the level of ministers and senior officials with joint acknowledgement of announcements in the ministerial meetings to confirm the intention of member countries in fostering cooperation and assistance in various projects without signature. The 7th Mekong Ganga Cooperation Ministerial Meeting will take place during the 47th ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting in Naypyidaw, the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, between the 7th and the 10th of August 2014, and the acknowledgement of the announcement will be made during the meeting. The draft announcement of the 7th Mekong Ganga Cooperation Ministerial Meeting is the confirmation of the intention of member countries in initiating the integration of ASEAN, reducing the development gaps, promoting development, the linkages among ASEAN member countries, and the establishment of ASEAN community within the year 2015. This will focus on cooperation in various fields, such as the construction of a museum of original weaving items of Asia in Siem Reap, Cambodia, the provision of educational grants for students of Cambodia, Laos PDR, Myanmar and Vietnam under the Indian Academic and Economic Cooperation projects, for instance. Next is on the Thailand's contribution towards the Permanent Office of the Secretary General of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or BIMSTEC. The 9th NCPO meeting on the 5th of August 2014 approved the budget of $70,086.75 from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs budget for the fiscal year 2014 as the maintenance contribution towards the Permanent Office of the Secretary General of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or BIMSTEC. NCPO also approved the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to set budgets for the payment of the maintenance contribution for the said office in subsequent years according to the sum requested by the said office. Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, or BIMSTEC, is an academic and economic cooperation framework among 7 member countries in the Bay of Bengal, with Thailand as a member. The 13th BIMSTEC ministerial meeting approved Bangladesh as the location for the establishment of the Office of the Secretary General. The Thai Cabinet had subsequently given approval to the draft Memorandum of Association in the setting up of the aforementioned office, and the 14th BIMSTEC ministerial meeting agreed on the proportion of financial contribution for the Office of the Secretary General, which will be revised after 3 years of the office establishment. However, the operation of the office had been delayed from May 2014 due to construction, and it is anticipated that the office will be ready in July 2014. And so the Office of the Secretary General had already requested member countries to make the contribution as soon as possible. As for Thailand, the present contribution for the period of June to December 2014 is $70,086.75 US, 17.25% of the total contribution between June to December 2014 of $406,300 US. And lastly, regarding the project to procure computer systems with supportive equipment to provide services in setting up the registry of personal history and identification cards for persons who are not of Thai nationality or migrant workers. The 9th NCPO meeting on the 5th of August 2014 had approved the project to procure computer systems with supportive equipment to provide services in setting up the registry of personal history and the issuance of identification cards for persons who are not of Thai nationality or migrant workers, as proposed by the Ministry of Interior, as well as the budget limitation of not exceeding 145.878 million baht. The ministry will adjust their budget under the plan to prepare for the entry into the ASEAN community to mobilize the fund for the project, and the Department of Provincial Administration will be responsible for the payment procedure. This is in accordance with the NCPO's orders in the setting up of 4 centers to coordinate the return of Cambodian workers into the kingdom and 29 one-stop service centers for the registration of migrant workers, with the plan to establish the latter in all provinces of the country. The Ministry of Interior had indicated that there were insufficient identification card producing machines and related equipment, and therefore had to propose for further budget for the purpose. This project will be very beneficial in efficient monitoring, inspecting and identity confirmation of migrant workers, thereby helping governmental agencies in orderly management of foreign workers and their accompanying members of families. This is also in accordance with the 11th National Economic and Social Development Plan that aims to develop an efficient basic data system of foreign workers with the information that can be effectively utilized in the management of such group of workers and responds to the policy of the NCPO in solving the problems of migrant workers and human trafficking. The operation of the one-stop service centers is considered to be governmental services that are in line with the strategic plan in developing the Thai governmental system to be carried out between 2013 and 2018 with regards to the building of the service excellence for the general public by providing convenient and fast services at one location. These will also reduce the overall cost of state services.